morning, guys. It's Monday, April 13th. It is the week after spring break, and we are still doing our online learning. I hope everyone had a wonderful spring break, and I look forward to hearing a little bit more about that maybe later in the week. We'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday. But as long as we're here doing our digital learning, I'm going to be uploading videos to give your families some new ideas. I'm going to try to keep my fine motor suggestions pretty simple and things that you might have around the house. But as always, if I can help you with supplies, please just reach out and let me know. I check my dojo every time anybody reaches out at all, so please don't hesitate to do that. Let's start with reviewing our personal information. What's your name? Parents do first and last names if your child is already and frequently doing their first name. My name is Miss Trish. Are you a boy or a girl? I'm a girl. And how old are you? Are you 3 or 4 or 5? And if your child is getting all those really easily, you might move on to when's your birthday, or what is your address, or what's the name of your school. Any of those personal information questions would be great to review every day. And most of my students get to where they can do them pretty well, so I encourage you to try to do those at home. The story we're going to do today is The Little Engine That Could, because I know we're all probably a little bit tired of being at home and maybe feeling a little frustrated that we're not back in school and back in our regular routine. So I thought this would be a good story to read and just to think about the meaning behind this story, parents. It may be a little bit wordy for preschoolers, so you may have to I may condense it as I go along. But anyway, it's by Scholastic, so I think I'm supposed to do a shout out to them. So anyway, let's think about what they're trying to say in this story. The Little Engine That Could. It's got bright, colorful pictures. Chug, chug, chug. Puff, puff, puff. Ding dong, ding dong. The little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train, for she had such a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled full of good things for boys and girls. There were toy animals, giraffes with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant. Then there were dolls. Dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, brown eyes and brown bobbed heads, and the funniest little toy clown you ever saw. And there were cars filled with toy engines, airplanes, tops, knives, picture puzzles, books, and every kind of things that boys or girls could want. But that was not all. Some cars were filled with all kinds of sweet things for boys and girls to eat. Oranges and apples and milk and lollipops. The little train was carrying all these wonderful things to the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain. She pulled along merrily. Then all of a sudden she stopped and could not go another inch. What were all the boys and girls on the other side of the mountain going to do without the wonderful toys to play with and the good food to eat? Here comes a shiny new engine. Let's ask him to help us. So they all cried out together, "Please, won't you help pull us over the mountain? Our car is stuck and we need your help." But the shiny new engine said, "Me pull you? I am much too good to do that. Me pull the likes of you? Indeed not." And off he went. How sad the little train and all the dolls and the toys felt. Then the little train called out, "The passenger engine is not the only one in the world. Here is another engine coming, a great big strong one. Let's ask him to help us." So the little toy clown waved her flag, and they said, "Please, oh please, big engine, won't you help us? We're stuck." But the freight engine said, "I'm a freight engine. I just pulled a great big train loaded with big machines over the mountain. Me pull the likes of you," and he pulled off and left them behind. They were very sad. But then they saw another one. They said, "He looks very old and tired, but our train is so little, maybe he can help us. Please, kind engine, won't you help us?" But the rusty old engine said, "I'm old and tired. I can't pull even a little train like yours." He said, I cannot. And then they were very, very sad. But then the clown called out, "Here's another engine coming, a little blue engine. It's very little. Maybe it will help us." The very little engine came chugging merrily along. When she saw the toy clown's flag, she stopped quickly. "What's the matter, my friend?" she asked kindly. "We're stuck. Will you help us over the mountain?" "Please, please help us, little blue engine." "I'm not very big," said the little blue engine. "They use me only for switching trains in the yard. I've never even been over the mountain. But we must get over the mountain to help the children." So the very little engine looked up and saw the tears in the doll's eyes. And she thought of the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain who would not have any toys or good food unless she helped. Then she said, I think I can. And she hitched herself to the little train. The toy clown jumped aboard, and all the dolls and the toy animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug went the little blue engine. I think I can. Up, up, up. Faster and faster and faster the little engine climbed until at last they reached the top of the mountain. Down in the valley lay the city. Hooray, hooray! The good little boys and girls will be so happy because you helped us, kind little engine. There they go. The end. That little blue engine didn't think that they could do it, but the little blue engine tried. He said, I think I can. And as you're trying to do things at home that may seem a little hard, or you're kind of bored and you wish you were in school, just whatever the case, keep reminding yourself that you can do anything. You just have to try. Don't say it's too hard. Say, I'll try. Or say, help me. That's the sign for help, parents. Help me, please. So we always have to try. So, I'm going to just quickly review our basic activity that I want you to remember to try at home, which is, this is a circle, which is going to be harder because it has curved edges. So you would do the trace, the dot to dot, or broken line, outline. Then you would do the solid outline. And then one thing that I like to do with my students is have them connect those broken lines. So we're actually going to make a circle. We hit the mark of my table. And then you can, first of all, you could cut the paper in half or have your child cut the paper in half. And then work on cutting out that shape that you just made. In this case, it's the circle. I'm going to cut it out. Parents, you can do hand over hand. Remember, the thumb is always on top. It's the boss. Open, close, till we get our circle. And then we're going to, remember, I prefer to use a glue stick, but any kind of glue is fine. Glue what you cut out. Put the glue on whatever paper you are going to put on. We're going to take that circle, match it up. Ta-da! So that's something you can do with any shape, a circle, a square, a rectangle. And then the next activity I was going to highlight today is stringing beads, which if you don't have beads at home, I thought we would look at stringing cereal. These are Honey Nut Cheerios. They're really tiny, so they're an excellent thing to practice with. This is yarn. If you don't have yarn, you could even use a shoelace. But encourage your child to practice their tip pinch. So that's just this one finger and the thumb, picking up the really tiny objects. If stringing the really tiny object is too hard, then I would encourage you just to practice that pinch. Pick it up. 1, count 2, 3, 4, 5. However high your child is practicing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And do that one at a time. You can look at their IEP goals. Some children are practicing counting to 10. Some are practicing counting to 20. And then if your child is able, you can even work on stringing that cereal onto the yarn or a shoelace, whatever the case may be. My yarn may be too fat, actually. There we go. Ta-da! So, some pieces may be a little bit harder to do if the hole is too small. These are Honey Nut Cheerios, so yeah, they're pretty hard. I need to get a little bit more tape on the end of my yarn before my next video, but you get the idea. And some of you may have beads at home that you can work on. I just didn't know if everyone would, so I'm trying to include activities that you don't have to go out and buy. So this is a pretty fat yarn, so a shoelace actually might work better. Might be a little bit easier. But just anything to work on those fine motor skills. And in this case, definitely think about the tip pinch. So, you get the idea. I hope you enjoyed the story, The Little Engine That Could. Let's just all remember that we can do this over the next couple of weeks, however long we have to be at home. I miss you all. Just going to touch on my general tips before I go. Remember, as you write, always think about fixing your grip. Work on holding the writing utensil the right way. Don't do this nasty grip. Fix your grip. Remember to practice buttoning and unbuttoning. You can get a shirt of mom or dad's. This is a great time to practice buttoning. Make sure your child can take their socks and shoes off and on. That they can take a jacket off and on. Those are a lot of IEP goals that we have at school. Also work on independence with the nightly routine. Whether your child is brushing teeth or maybe taking their clothes off and on before and after getting a bath. That's a good idea. Then for heavy work, remember just play. If you have any sort of playground equipment at home or trampoline, that's great. Run around your house. Push-ups against the wall or up and down in your chair. Helping with household chores like vacuuming and sweeping. Those are great for heavy work. And then to pull a friend or some big, thick books, something like that on a blanket or a towel around your house. That's a good thing to do. And as always, remember with schoolwork just to work for little snippets of time. Use your timers. We've talked about those before. And don't expect big, long blocks, but work a few minutes, then take a break. Work a few minutes, then take a break. Tomorrow we'll be talking a little bit more about first, then. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Wednesday. I think Wednesday we're going to talk more about first, then. But anyway, I hope things are going well, and I will see you later.